Bitcoin is seeing a bit of a pump today, and I want to take just a quick look at the charts and break down why I think this bounce could actually have some gas left in the tank, bringing us higher. And if that sounds good to you, smash that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. With that, let's get it. Alright guys, just starting things off here, taking a look at my 1 hour chart. You can see that my green box that I've had outlined has been respected beautifully, both where we have currently set our low here with this trend, as well where we climbed and then came back, did a little bit of a retest, and just started consolidating right on top of that box, which is absolutely beautiful. Some of you may be wondering where this box came from. I'm just going to hop over to my daily chart here. And basically it's just going from the bottom of these candle bodies down to the wick. So what I'm looking for here is a bit of a double bottom. So these candles over here, really they could have gone down further. It would have been more perfect if it reached all the way down to the double bottom. But the fact that we are respecting this box, we're getting into the wick territory, a bit of a kill zone. That looks beautiful to me. And especially going with that, we do have this bullish RSI divergence. You can see that it's really trying to climb out of oversold territory. The RSI has been climbing as we're kind of setting very similar lows. So that, in my opinion, is quite beautiful to see. If I zoom right out here, we did have this little bit of trade action. I touched on this in my previous video. It's nice that we did have this little bit of trading action, really just this little bit of support here. Not really what I'm super focused on right now, though. More worried about this current trading price action. The fact that, like I mentioned, this does just look like a bit of a double bottom with a bullish RSI divergence. So in my opinion, that's quite beautiful. And I really wouldn't be too surprised to see us start testing higher levels, possibly retest this downward sloping trend line, which would be an absolutely beautiful bounce right now. If I hop over to, you guys may recognize this chart from my last video as well. I was talking about this potential support line here dating all the way back to 2011. So I don't really know of any charts older than this for Bitcoin. So absolutely beautiful that we are still holding it. Yes, we did just get another weekly red candle body close here. But something else I want to point out about this is that we have this wick back here on the weekly candles. And yeah, we had this little attempt at a bounce, this little green candle here followed by another red. So that's not beautiful in my opinion. That could have been quite bad. But the fact that these candles are not closing below our low here, we are still technically holding this level as support. And it is quite interesting that it is right along that support line that I had mapped out from my last video. Quite often what you will see is if you have a bit of a wick kind of indicating where the price might be heading, that sort of thing, and then you'll see candles start to get near the bottom of that wick once again, and if they aren't able to set a new lower low below this wick, sometimes it can get very aggressive and start taking off the other direction. So the fact that we are consolidating technically right along this support line that I have mapped out, this could be setting up for some very bullish activity in my opinion. I'm not saying that we necessarily have to just blast off through all-time highs and start a whole new cycle. Nothing like that. I'm sure we're going to see a whole bunch of resistance along the way. But just for a temporary bounce and just for a little bit of relief and a little hope for the bulls, this looks absolutely beautiful. Hopping over to a more macro daily chart here. You guys will recognize this from my last video as well. I have this green box once again. This one's a little bigger. It's just a different chart, but it's really outlining the previous market cycle all-time high. And you can see that's where this box was respected here as well, and where we are currently trying to find support as well. So that looks good. Obviously, we are in a very strong downtrend. Nobody can deny that. But it is time to start considering that we don't necessarily have to go lower. I've seen, especially on social media, on Twitter and YouTube comments, stuff like that, people are incredibly bearish, and people love to be super bearish at support when they're supposed to be buying. And to me, this level does just look like it would have a lot of confluence, not so much because of this price action back here, but again, that whole double bottom situation that I was looking at here. lining up perfectly with the previous cycle all-time high cluster right back here. So this should be a significant level in my opinion. What you love to see in market cycles, you just love to see resistance flip into support, and this would be absolutely fucking perfect. So you love to see that. On that note, where we might start running into troubles if we do get a serious bounce here, I would expect to find a little bit of resistance at this yellow box here. It doesn't necessarily have to flip into resistance, but with typical price action, that does tend to happen. If you have a strong level of support, it quite often flips into resistance, and vice versa. If you have let's say we start respecting this as resistance, get rejected a few times, but then we get above it and start respecting it as support, that would be absolutely incredible in my opinion, and that could lead to a serious bull market. But obviously, there's a lot of time between now and then. A lot of resistance in the way. Like I mentioned, this whole yellow resistance box. As well, we have a big downward sloping resistance line here, which might actually line up quite well with this resistance box, just giving a little extra confluence there. And on that other chart, I pointed out another downward sloping trend line. It would be more something like that. Even move up to that downward sloping trend line, though, if we are to get some sort of breakout here and climb to that level, that would even be approximately a 20% move to the upside. So although it doesn't look like much, those are some serious moves that we could have in the market. We might get some extreme volatility coming up, and that could go both directions. I don't want to sit here screaming that we are definitely going to the moon, we're definitely finding support here. Nothing like that. I am comfortable spot buying at these levels. I've been leverage trading as well. Honestly, I am shorting, I'm longing, I don't really care. I'm totally fine doing little day trade snipes. If I'm playing degenerate time frames, like playing on a 5-minute or a 15-minute chart, then I'm also taking profits very quickly. Not looking for a home run trade off those degen levels, but in my opinion, I mean, things are looking quite good right now from a bullish perspective. So I think I'm going to be leaning a little more bullish in my trade setups for the next little while here. We're going to have to see how this plays out from here. But so far, it looks like Bitcoin is really trying to find some support along my box. And I think that's absolutely beautiful. So that's really all I have to say for today, guys. I just wanted to give you a quick market breakdown at what I was kind of looking at the charts today. So if you did appreciate my take on what's going on in the markets here, please do me a favor and smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't. If you really like what I had to say and you really agree with what I'm saying, it would do me a huge favor if you would share this video. It goes a long way for a smaller channel such as myself. I truly appreciate each and every interaction that I get with you guys. And with that, stay safe, my friends. Peace.